let's talk about my first love, which was more of a friendship love because I was only 14. But here's the story time. His name, well, actually, I won't say his name to protect his privacy. But he was so handsome, and he was so dreamy, and he was so tall. I was in Mexico, living in Mexico, and he went to an all-boys school, which was very attractive to me. And I didn't really know him that well. And when I was 14, I had never been kissed. I had never gone on a date. I was just a child, a dorky, chubby child. But I did know that I loved the feeling of being loved, even at that age. So we went to the bowling alley when I was 14, and he had come to the bowling alley that day, and I had never really hung out with him before, but I knew that he thought I was cute. So we got to the bowling alley and we hit it off right away. I hope he never sees this video ever. So we get to the bowling alley. It was November in Mexico, so it was perfect weather. Perfect, because Mexico is so hot. My hometown was so hot, so I figured November would be a good day to wear a sweater. So I wore a navy sweater with a white stripe and a v-neck. I still remember what I wore. I mean, he was my first love, so you remember these things. Anyway, so we get to the parking lot of the bowling alley, and it turns out that we have a lot in common, right? He has some interests that are similar to mine in music. We determined that Aerosmith is the greatest band that ever lived. And we determined that Don't Wanna Miss a Thing is the best song that ever existed. And we bond over everything and nothing, I guess. While everybody else played bowling. Boliche. I don't know, that's how you say it in English. And we talked on the parking lot for about 3 hours. And then at the end of the evening, he got down on one knee. After not knowing me from scratch a day before, he got down on one knee and asked me to be his girlfriend. So in 3 hours I went from being single and not knowing this person to having my first boyfriend. And let me tell you, he was handsome. Everybody was so jealous. We held hands, and I thought I almost died. I almost died from joy and happiness. But, you know, I must warn you, this is a tragic ending. Not that tragic, but just teenage tragic. So, we started dating. And it was amazing. We had friends in common, so it was a great opportunity for us to hang out with other foreshadowing of what would happen with him and I, because eventually, during Christmas break, after dating for 2 months, I realized that he might be gay. And at that time, it was hard for me to understand what that meant, because I didn't know any gay people. In the hometown that I'm from, there's not a lot of people that are out. It's not common that people just come out as gay. We're very small, very conservative, very narrow-minded hometown, so I didn't know any gay person until that day. He is now a happy gay man that I think lives and moved to San Francisco or somewhere in the US, I don't remember. And he's actually the nicest person. I've run into him a couple times, and it turns out he was gay the whole time. And it makes me so happy that he is happy, and it makes me happy that he can live his true life as his authentic self in a way that is unapologetic and truly just him living his best life. So, cheers to him, and cheers to my first love. I will always remember him with fond memories, and every time I hear I Don't Want to Miss a Thing by Aerosmith, I think of him. Funny thing about music, how it transports you to a era in a matter of minutes. The day that I got my first boyfriend, the day that he went on one knee and asked me to be his girlfriend, I remember going to my grandma's house afterwards, and all my aunts were there. I have like 20 aunts. And I came in, and I remember every one of my aunts were like, "You look glowing. You look beautiful. You look so grown up." And I was like, "Thank you." I didn't even tell them that I had a boyfriend that day, but they could tell. They could absorb the energy that I was irradiating of just happiness and love, love, love. They were like, "Oh my gosh, you look like you're glowing." I was like, "Thank you." Probably my flushed cheeks from all the excitement of the day. That would be the turbulent beginning of my love life. That would end, or that would conclude in a very mature adult relationship, which I am now in. But let me tell you, the road to get to where I am now was filled with peaks and valleys, and was filled with sharp turns and tricky roads that I had to navigate as a teenager and as a young adult, in a world where I would fall in love with every person that paid attention to me, and that ended up with me becoming thick-skinned to the unfortunate events that had transpired in my adult life. So you just never know where love will take you. You never know where love will take you. But it's worth the journey. was definitely my first love. But there was one love that I had before him that was a children's love, you could say. Because I was in 2nd grade when I fell in love with this person. In love. And this is a very dramatic story. So I put my hoodie back on, but I think like it looks like just a floating head in this background. So I don't know if I want to keep it or not. And also it kind of looks like a hood, so I don't know. Not a good look. I hate this outfit. I look like a mom that's going to the grocery store and then to yoga. Anyway. Let me tell you about the type of love that you experience when you're a child, when you're 10, 9. Is that real love? Or what is that? You're not even a hormonal teenager yet, so what is that? I was deeply in love with a person since 2nd grade of elementary school till 8th grade. So, a lot of years, deeply in love. I can't say his name, but I can tell you he was blonde and handsome. And my mom always show whatever you think they're gonna show you. But either way, there might be some truth to that. Who knows? I don't know. But anyway, this song kinda sucks. It's too much. So the resolution of that story is that when I was in 8th grade, he was invited to one of the school dances. He had moved to another school and he came to one of our dances because he was still friends with some of the boys from my grade. So Carlos, came, and I was a really bad dancer back then. Now I'm better, but I was a really bad dancer back then. And I was dancing on the dance floor with some of my girlfriends who were not at all popular girls. They were just like normal girls that I thought were really cool, and we were dancing, having a great time. We were having such a great time. And then I left the dance floor and I overheard him immediately after I left the dance floor saying something along the lines of, "The girls who dance are stupid," or "The girls who were dancing look stupid," something like that. Stupid. It devastated me. I went to the bathroom and I cried. I remember what I was wearing. I was wearing one of those jean jackets and one of those turtlenecks. Oh man, it brings me back, and I cried. I remember saying he thinks I looked stupid and I was dancing in front of him. I thought I looked so cool, and he just wasn't there for it, and he was very vocal about the fact that he thought the girls who were dancing looked stupid. I took it personally. So the sad part of the story is that after that day, I decided I wouldn't dance anymore, and I didn't dance for probably the next 10 years of my life. Unfortunately, he really did affect me, and he affected my joy of dancing to music that I love so much. Just for one little comment he made, you will never know how much it affected me and how much I cursed his name after that day. But, I got over him immediately after that. I was like, F him. I did not dwell on it. I did not try to make him like me. I was just like, you know what? This is the end of Carlos and me. And after that, I was able to move on to greener pastures. Other boys I liked. I've always been very boy crazy. Unfortunately, or I guess, yeah, fortunately for the guys. Unfortunately for my mother, who did not appreciate my taste in men. That's for another video. But it all seems to point to the fact that I became a person that I was not after that day, and I didn't dance, and I kind of shied away from music, and that is not me at all. So at one point, I think I ended that stigma of the no dancing, and I just accepted that he was a loser